and welcome to another new episode from The Awakening. Now this one's a bit special. We've managed to secure an interview with a Buddhist priest. Now her name is Suzanne Glanister, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her journey. I tell you what, let's go and have a little listen, shall we? Right, I'd like to welcome Suzanne to the studio. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
All right.
Are you behaving yourself?
No.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Now, you are a Buddhist priest.
Yes.
Now, tell me a bit about that. What does that entail?
Well, my family was Anglican
Right.
earlier on, and I never really enjoyed going to church.
No.
So I'd say that.
No, I didn't as a child. I hated it.
Yeah. And then later on in London, when I went to London, I joined a Buddhist, background people.
If you didn't like going to churches and stuff, what made you take that step?
I think it was the difference in the praying and things. It wasn't all about God.
Right. Yeah.
So after that, I went to Japan and joined a place in Japan, and then they asked me if I'd like to be a priest.
Right.
So I was appointed a priest in Japan, then came back to London, and we had lots of people in our house, because we have our own little place where you have the service.
Yes.
And we had a room just for that. And lots of the kids really loved it that we knew there. And they used to come with their little bow ties.
Right.
And it was really nice, because some of the mums came round because they found out about it. And then all sorts of people came, because we knew Chinese people and Japanese people, and the kids loved it. So it was really nice, because it's a sort of a prayer where you have compassion.
Yeah.
You try to have compassion for people. And they do have some, the Buddha, it's Buddha, but there's a female part too in the Buddhism called Avalokiteshvara.
Right.
So there's prayers that she says, so we use those a lot. And that's a lot about being compassionate and not being horrible to other people and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's why we've done it. And then when we came to Wales later on, we started to have services here too. And unfortunately, after we came to Wales for good, it was just down during lockdown.
Yeah.
And a lot of things had disappeared, including the Buddhist, and we're trying to get it back. And Shirley, who's a priest, has been helping us, because I do a lot of interfaith now.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. And Shirley's lovely, and she's helped us a lot.
Who is this Shirley that you're speaking about? Do I know her? Oh yeah, it's my wife, isn't it?
Your wife.
My wife, yeah.
And funnily enough, we met her in London, and when she was in the church where we lived.
St. James's.
St. James's Church. And then when we came to, we came up and down for a long time to Wales, and we went to her, what was it, in the church when she was ordained? What do they call it?
When she was
ordained.
Well,
she was ordained.
Yeah.
And she asked if we'd come. And we went up to St. Anne's. Curate. That's right, she was curate. And we got to know her, and we went into the church, and we looked at each other and said, oh, we know each other. And that was because we'd known her in London. Yeah. So we've known her now properly for a long time.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were asked to become a Buddhist priest.
If I'd like to be.
If you'd like to be.
Yeah.
Over here, in the Anglican Church, surely you had to do 3 years of training.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But is there anything like that? Or
sort of, yes.
Is there? What's involved in that?
Well, it's the sort of way you pray and all that and look after people.
Right.
But,
so there's a way of doing
it. It was the time, how long you had been a Buddhist, really. That's what it was.
Right.
I've still got pictures of the day that it was done, and all very posh.
Is it? So you really had to behave yourself.
Yes. But it's the nice people, and it was a very nice part of Germany.
Oh, right, Germany.
I was in Germany, and then I went to Japan.
Right. How was that culturally different?
Oh, lovely. I loved Japan. Wouldn't mind living there, really.
Really?
Yeah. They're very nice. And they got wonderful ideas and beautiful art and all that sort of stuff.
Because you do a lot of painting, don't you, as well?
Yeah. Lots of painting. Unfortunately, some of the paintings are so large that nobody can have them on the wall.
Well, I think you've got one waiting me to pick up. I think it's 6 foot something, is it?
Yeah.
6 foot by 4 foot or something?
Yeah. Joan of Arc, that is.
Yes.
Joan of Arc.
Yes, you sent me the picture of it.
Yeah, but it's called Joan of Arc, but I used to work in an old people's home in London sometimes when I got married and had children. I had to stop going to the theatre, so I had to get another job.
Why did you have to stop going to the theatre?
Because it's really quite difficult going to the theatre, because you have to work all sorts of hours, you know. And obviously you couldn't take your baby with you.
No. How long did you do that for in the theatre?
Theatre? Oh, quite a long time, because...
this was in London?
Yeah. And I worked at the Royal Court, and I had some money given to me by the sort of art stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so the theatre paid half my money, and I had the other half was given to me by... what was it? I can't remember what it was called now.
Do you miss it?
What, the theatre?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do, especially here, because there are not many theatres.
No. We're kind of at the edge of the cliff here, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, there's not...
I don't know why. Because, I mean, they're very talented Welsh people, especially for singing and that. My two daughters are in London still, and they work in theatres. It seems to be a family thing. You know?
There's a bigger audience in London, maybe, and possibly more money in London as well.
Oh yes, I think
where
so.
they can.
Yeah, it was nice. And they were lovely. The Royal Court was brilliant, and I had a teacher who was an artist and did set design called Jocelyn Herbert, and she used to take me around everywhere and show me how to become a really good designer, and it was very, very different to some of the sets that were being done before, because they were full of, the place was full of stuff and you could hardly see the actors.
Right, yeah.
But she taught me how to just have something very simple there, which actually told you the story, and the actors had got plenty of room to move around in, so that was very interesting. She was lovely.
I find it interesting that you didn't like going to church, but here you are in Buddhism now. It's a strange path, isn't it?
I don't know why. It might have been. I don't know why. I mean, in London we did go to St James's.
Yeah.
Because they were interfaith people as well. Yeah. And it just seemed. I don't really want to say too much about it because I know Shirley loves God and everything. Mm. But I just used.
It just wasn't for you.
What?
It wasn't for you.
No, it wasn't for me.
No.
Because I never thought. And at times when awful things were happening, and I thought. And they're saying prayers to God, and I thought, bloody hell. Yeah,
well, it's just like now what's going on in Ukraine, isn't it? I mean, that worries me an awful lot.
Yeah, of course it does. It's awful. And the way that people can kill other people.
I
mean, if you kill somebody, two people, for some reason, you're put to prison.
Yeah. Well,
Well, as you should be.
yeah.
But I don't know what's going to happen with this, and it's just so awful for people,
I
and
know.
the kids and the animals.
I know, yeah.
I don't know why anybody wants to do it.
No, neither do I. I can't get my head around it. I
No,
can't.
nor can I.
I mean, you've got to have a screw list, if you ask me. You know, my opinion. But he's been, I don't want to get too political about it, but 20 odd years in power, surrounded by people who are like nodding donkeys saying yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
And he's probably, I don't know if he sat there and he wakes up one day, what shall I do today then? You know. But like I said, I don't want to get too political about it. Right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for coming in.
That's all right.
It's really good of you to give us
We're
your
going to have a
time.
nice cup of coffee now.
And a piece of cake.
And a piece of
I know you only came for the cake.
No, I didn't. I came to see your wife.
Oh, yeah. Right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome back. I do hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. My thanks to Suzanne for coming into the studio. Now, in our next episode, a bit of a teaser here, I've got an interview with a nun, originally from New Zealand, but who moved to the UK to become a nun. Now, you'll have to tune in for the details of that one, won't you? Right, once again, my thanks to Suzanne, and that's enough from me. Until next time, you all take care, and most importantly, you all stay safe. Toodle pip!